What up and what's poppin'? This shit Dog Breeze from Fahrenheit 451, part of the Fourth and Goal Network. We're burning the books alive. 2-1 in the NBA. A Mitchell Robinson rebound away from a plus 4.5 in profit night and a sweep. Nevertheless, back with my best bets in the NBA for today, December 10th. First up from the Phoenix Suns, Jordan Goodwin over 7 points. Minus 130 odds over on Bet365, risking 1.3 units on this one to win 1 unit back. Goodwin over this line in his last 13 straight games, averaging 10.5 points. Hit this line in his last 10, averaging 14 points. Hit this line in his last game versus OKC. 14 points on his last game versus OKC on 13 field goal attempts. 8 field goal attempts or more in his last 9 out of 10 when he has just 7 field goal attempts or more. He's hitting this line in his last 14 out of 14, averaging 10.6 points and 9.7 field goal attempts. 30% of his points come from the above the break three. OKC is 8th in giving up above the break threes. Next, from the Phoenix Suns, I'll be taking Mark Williams. Maybe I am the Mark Williams whisperer if I can hit this one. Mark Williams over his 10 points, hit this line in his last 8 and in his last 9 out of 10, 13 points in his last game versus OKC. On 9 field goal attempts, when he has just 8 field goal attempts or more. He has hit this line in 12 out of 12 games this season, averaging 17.5 points and just 9.9 field goals attempted. Going up against a OKC team that just let Draymond, Filipowski, Kalkbrenner, and Diabate all score 13 points or more. Next, from the San Antonio Spurs, taking Luke Kornet, Mr. Air Block himself. Over 2 assists, minus 115 odds over on Bet365. Mark Williams pick, I'm taking that for, I got that at minus 125, I think, risking 1.25 units on that one to win 1 unit back. Kornet risking 1.15 unit to win 1 unit back. Kornet over 2 assists in his last 8 out of 10, averaging 2.5 assists. Lakers allowing the 7th most assists. Kornet 3 potential assists in his last 7 out of 10 games. When he has 3 potential assists or more, he's hitting this line in his last 9 out of 10 games this season, averaging 2.8 assists. Next, from the Oklahoma City Thunder, I'm going to be taking Aaron Wiggins over 8.5 points, minus 125 odds over on Bet365, risking 1.25 units on this one to win a unit back. Aaron Wiggins over this line in his last 8 out of 10 games, 17 points in back-to-back games in his last 2 versus Phoenix on 8 and 16 field goal attempts. 8 field goal attempts or more in his last 9 out of 10. When he has 8 field goal attempts or more, he's hitting this line in his last 11 out of 12, averaging 14.5 points and 11.3 field goals attempted. 48% of his points come from the above the break three. Phoenix is allowing the 11th most above the break threes in their last 5 games. Last but not least, I only put a half a unit on this one to win a little bit more than a half a unit, but I may double back and put another half a unit on this one or more, depending how we do in the early games. From the San Antonio Spurs, Dylan Harper over his 4 assists plus 110 odds over on Bet365. So before we get into this, Dylan Harper has played 20 minutes or more in his last 4 and in his last 10 games. When he has 20 minutes or more, he has hit this line in his last 7, averaging 5.4 assists. In his last 5 games with 20 minutes or more and 7 plus potential assists, he has hit this line in his last 8 out of 9 games. With 20 minutes and 7 plus potential assists, he has hit this line in his last 6, averaging 5.6 assists. Averaging 5.6 assists in his last 5 games. LA allowing the 8th most assists to the point guard position and the 7th most assists, as I just explained when I was breaking down the Luke Kornet pick. So to recap here at the 5-minute mark, I'm going to be taking from the Phoenix Suns, Jordan Goodwin over his 7 points, Mark Williams from the Phoenix Suns over his 10 points, Luke Kornet, Mr. Airblock himself over 2 assists, Aaron Wiggins over his 8.5 points, and Dylan Harper over his 4 assists. I don't know if y'all can hear me right now. I got a call coming through. All right, so to recap the recap at the 540 mark, I'm going to be taking Jordan Goodwin over his 7 points, Mark Williams over his 10 points. They're both from the Phoenix Suns. Luke Kornet from the San Antonio Spurs over his 2 assists, Aaron Wiggins from the OKC Thunder over his 9 points, and Dylan Harper from the Spurs over his 4 assists. Like, comment, and subscribe for your daily sports betting videos and analysis. Let's keep burning them. As always, I will see you tomorrow. If you would like access to all of my plays as soon as I place them for just 16 cents a day, subscribe to the Patreon. I will link that down below. Love, peace, and fish grease. Let's continue to run up these units.